Premier Radio Networks.
Welcome back, Ellen in Scottsdale, Arizona. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Talk to you again.
Thank you.
I am an 11-year breast cancer survivor.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, terrific. And I have very good insurance, and I am very lucky. I'm 62. It goes up every year terribly. My employment pays for it. My job pays for it. So I am very blessed.
Mm-hmm.
For the first 3 years, my breast surgeon wanted me to have 2 mammograms a year.
Right, they won't pay for it.
They will not pay for it. Now, I was in a position to pay for it. Many people aren't.
I agree.
Come and say, do you want it advanced? I mean, if there is a recurrence, do you want it to, spread
before you do anything? Exactly. And that's what we know. If you address things before they become out of control or severe or chronic,
right,
the cost of treating is so much less. So why would you rather pay if I had the option, wouldn't you rather pay a couple $100 for a mammogram, or would you rather pay for Ellen to have a radical mastectomy plus chemotherapy and, God forbid, radiation? Right? I mean, which is cheaper?
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
And then I wanted to go for a colonoscopy because it's one of the glandular cancers.
Right.
And we had to lie, because the doctor said to me, "Oh, you are having problems, right? You're bleeding, right?" So they make you lie to be able to have a procedure that you need to begin with.
I know. That's why I get really upset when people say, "I don't want the government." See, they say it like it means something. And I think about all this information I have personally, and all this information I have just from experience myself. Going for X-rays and testing regarding the chronic bronchitis that I have personally. And going back and forth with the insurance companies, fighting with them, and then finally just having to pay out of pocket.
Right.
Which means, I don't know, I'm sorry, people end up, dead because of the insurance companies. I mean, a 10-year-old girl will lose her mom because of an insurance company?
Exactly.
Sick.
Things should not work. This is not how the greatest country in the world should work.
No, it isn't. When there's so much opportunity to do it cheaper, faster, the prevention is there, we know about genetic testing for a lot of different things. We know all kinds of ways to be proactive, to keep the costs down, and this country refuses to do it. One of the common things I hear too is, well, in Canada they have wait times for surgery. Well, we do too. We have wait times here too. If it's not an emergency, you get put on a wait list.
You certainly do.
Ellen, thank you very much for sharing your experiences, and definitely big congratulations on 11 years. That's a nice long time. Arthur in Tucson, Arizona, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I had a little story about how things were back in the 60s. My dad was a doctor, and one of his Republican cohorts had this whole spiel about what was going to happen. We were going to have a beady-eyed bureaucrat behind every doctor telling him exactly what he could do. They were going to limit who he could see, how he would diagnose, what tests he could run, he would treat them. Does this sound at all familiar?
Sounds like an HMO to me.
I'm going with this. And how much he could charge, and it would increase the cost. Mm-hmm. And I heard the speech that Ronald Reagan gave on this, and he finished it with, "And it would be the end of the American way of life."
Which is what they're saying right now. That's what I heard today on the radio, that it would be the end of American healthcare. Greatest system in the history of the world. Except 50 million people can't have access to it. And it's the most expensive with the least amount of care.
Okay. Well, do you know what liberalism is?
Of course.
I have a real easy definition for it.
Okay.
And people just keep forgetting this. It's government of the people, by the people, for the people.
Yeah, and I would just like to add this. I have a few friends that are in the military, and in the military they're taught that the weakest among you can get you killed. And that is classic liberalism. It's reach down, help the weak up, because if you don't, it'll get you killed. So what you do is you want to make sure that you've got the weakest among us covered in health care. You want everybody to get coverage. This cherry-picking of healthy people really does weaken our society. Employers are being weakened by the premiums if they dare to provide, insurance for their employees. Small businesses are having to choose between covering their employees and having healthy employees or not, and watching their employees who they're very close to getting ill, sometimes die, and this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong.